Girl here. So this is my podcast, Sacred Water, Visionary Women of Freedom. And I'm going to bring on Allie. This is my second attempt. Hopefully it works this time, so that we can chat about how she got into this business, about motherhood, and oh, there we go. Hi, Allie.
Hi.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. So this is my second attempt, but I think it works better with the data. So where to start? Well, I wanted to first ask about the water, because that is, a big part of what this can be for a lot of people, right? And for
hmm
me, I work with the divine feminine. And so to me, the water itself is a symbol of overflow. It's a symbol of intuition. It's a symbol of clarity. So what does the water for you signify in regards to it being sacred? Is that something that you've ever called it, or if you thought about it? How would the water feel sacred to you?
Yeah. So, just the fact that I forget how many times, I'm Christian. And so, I forget how many times, it's mentioned in the Bible, but the term living water is mentioned in the Bible a bunch
I
of
just got the
different
shivers.
times.
I love that.
Yeah. And so, it's really all about bringing our bodies back to origin, right? Because that's literally what it means in
Yes.
Japanese. And I think that because God made us, that being in the Bible and us having the tool to essentially bring our bodies back to, the origin,
Yes.
that alone is sacred, right? Because we were made by him, that's sacred, and
Yeah.
just also too the healing properties too, right?
Yeah.
Not here to make any type of medical claims, but just
Yes.
the how we've seen firsthand, right? What this can do for people, income opportunity aside, but the water, the
Yes.
transformations people have had in their health, the healing, just so many things, right? And I think
Yeah.
that that alone right there deserves, that is also sacred to me. Hopefully that
I
answered
love
your
that. Yeah. Yeah. No,
question.
that's, and I wanted to bridge that back, because before you found this business, so you were actually in sort of the Western medical allopathic system, right? Um,
Yes.
so what was it about either the water or the business that made you open to looking at more of the holistic side in that regard? Or was it the science that bridged, kind of that for you? I'm curious, just where you were before and how it's brought you into this, it seems maybe more holistic kind of
Yeah.
lifestyle. Yeah.
No, absolutely. This opportunity definitely was the catalyst for me going more, crunchy mom, if you will, and holistic. Especially becoming a mom. I would say two, both things, becoming a mom, but even then, before before we got our machine, before, I started my business, we were healthy kind of, but we were definitely not as much as we are now. So it was definitely the catalyst. We were drinking okay water before. We were drinking reverse osmosis, which as long as you're adding the minerals and then there's a good quality filter, I won't say that that's bad. But we drank a lot of bottled water though, and that was something that I wasn't aware of. I also wasn't aware of how, just seeing the opportunity and when I first watched some information on it and seeing how bad the water is, the tap water. I had
Yeah.
no idea. I
Yeah.
mean, when we were kids, we used to drink water from the tap and we were on well water, but I think back now and I'm gross. I would never, you know what I mean? Unless it's
Yeah.
a life or death situation and I'm that's the only water source or I'm gonna die. But yeah, it's just crazy. That alone opened up my eyes, and then I just feel like it was a domino effect from there, a ripple effect, if you will, of just realizing the what's in our foods, what are in the snacks that I'm giving my kid, what's in the products that we're putting on our body, I again, that's a whole other thing. That's a whole other thing, the food, the skincare, the cleaning products, things that we use in our home, right? Things that we put on our body, like our fabrics and things. It really, this literally was the catalyst to really open up all those cans of worms, if you will. Yeah, and it's been quite a journey, but I'm so grateful for it because I can't even imagine giving my kid tap water, drinking bottled water, right? It's very rare that we drink it now.
Yeah, and the bathing too. Like you probably have an
Yes.
Anespa at home, right?
Hmm.
So
Yeah.
I know a friend of mine who's a nurse, she has pictures of bathing her babies and she's like looking back, she's also in the holistic world much more now. And also this was a catalyst for her, but she looks back on these pictures. She's like, how was I bathing my babies in this, chlorinated water that's just full of toxins? And it's so amazing, even just that we don't I went to
Yeah.
nutrition school and we never talked about like what are you showering in, but it's our skin is such a big organ, right? It's our biggest external organ. So it's so interesting. Okay, so I'm curious because you were a nurse previously, right? Or a nurse practitioner?
And registered nurse, and I technically still am, but I don't
Yes.
I don't practice anymore.
Yeah. So were you looking for an opportunity or was it the water or like how did that kind of bridge happen for you in regards to saying yes? Because a lot of people say, oh, it's expensive, oh, it's this,
Yeah.
but not necessarily realizing, well, the life that they're living is actually keeping them, that's a lot more expensive than, taking steps into freedom, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
totally. So no, that's a great question. So I originally was looking for something like to
Okay.
get me out of my situation.
Yeah.
Um, But I mean, like I said, when I saw this, I had no idea about like the quote unquote water crisis and microplastics and stuff. So like not only when I like saw and learned about the, business side of this, the compensation plan and just like the income potential, but then when I saw the product and the science behind the water, it was like five light bulbs went off. It wasn't one. It was
Yeah.
like it checked all the boxes. So I was like, this is literally a no brainer. And I know a lot of people don't
Mhm.
instantly feel that way. Like, I will say that, like, I'm kind of a unicorn in that sense where it was like, sometimes it takes people months. Like, they see it and then, like, 6 months later, they might join or whatever. Like, everybody's different. For me, I
Yeah.
was like, I'm doing this. Like, no
Yeah.
one or nothing is going to stop me from doing this. Like, I need this
Woo.
product for my family and like I'm doing this. I like took it and ran with it and then like now here we are.
I love that. And did you already have a relationship with your sponsor or how was that portion? Like, did you already trust her?
Yeah, yeah, no, that's a great question. So I actually was presented like this opportunity in a couple of different ways from two
Hey.
different other people before her.
Yeah.
Not really people that I was friends with. Kind of somebody just kind of shared the water with me. It wasn't really like a big thing. I didn't realize the income that came along with it and like the opportunity. So I didn't really entertain it. I was like, oh, okay, that's cool. But then somebody showed me the business opportunity and I was just like, I don't know, and like my husband and I were a little bit turned off, honestly, like by the way it was
Mhm.
presented and just like the energy and stuff. And then, yes, to answer your question, my sponsor, her name's Katie. We did know each other previously. We'd never met, but like we'd been talking back and forth for months and months. I forget how long exactly on Facebook. And we were in the same low ticket network marketing company at the
Mhm.
time. And we were like in kind of the same community. So like we knew each other. Yeah. And that was another thing too of like coming from low ticket and then like seeing what this is. I was like, wow, like again,
Yeah.
a no brainer. And like the funny part is kind of ironic, if you will, is that in low ticket, like I made enough to pay for my products, right? But I had this huge vision of like, I'm gonna retire my husband. We're gonna do all these grand things, right? And I barely made any money. But here, it's like most people would think like, oh, it's a, higher ticket item, like it's gonna be harder to sell. That's not true. Like I've actually had a lot better time here. I won't say that it's easy. But my success has been like night and day compared to what it was in low ticket. So yeah, sorry, I kind of went off on a
No,
tangent
no,
there,
that's
but
perfect. Yeah.
like I just feel like all these things were like really pertinent to share. But yeah, no, I knew her, and it's just like as soon as I saw the information, like I said, we were already friends, but as soon as I saw the information, I watched like maybe like a 20-minute webinar or something like that, and I was like, heck yeah, like sign me up. I'm ready to go through the discovery process. Like, let's go.
I love that. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, what do you feel then for you now bringing on, like you said, you've had more success, or it's been not necessarily easy, but you found it comparing to the low ticket, ironically, that you are
Yeah.
able to bring on. Is there a one piece to the success, like the mindset, or just having conversations every day, or is it kind of a multitude of things that you've been finding? Because, I know you're a mom, you're about to be a mama to a second boy, or we don't know yet, or
Girl.
A girl. Okay. Okay. I think I asked you and you told me, sorry about that. A girl. Yeah.
It's
That's
okay.
really exciting. And so, because a lot of people are like, oh, I don't have the time. Oh, I don't want to invest the money, all these things. So, with all those objections, where do you find that people say yes and, join your team and kind of go forward? Like, is there one kind of thread that supports all of that process for you as a leader? Or is it sort of a multitude of things that you kind of check off daily or weekly?
Are you asking like tasks or just like how to help people like in the sense of like getting over like the objection of time? Is that what you're asking?
Yes. Yeah,
Yeah.
kind of, I guess both in one sort of, because I find personally the more I lead myself, like, being a stepmom now, it's like I'm still learning, I feel emotionally and energetically how to lead myself in this environment because, I lived at
Yeah.
the ocean. And so it was easier
Oh
to
yeah.
just, live that freedom lifestyle and share my branding that way. So for me, that's been my biggest challenge lately is bringing on new team members in this new person, new brand as I'm trying to up level. So I'm just curious, yeah, like throughout your seasons, because you said you found it's been not necessarily easier, but ironically, almost better with the high ticket, right? Is
Mhm.
that because of like your excitement or are you just meeting the right people? I'm just curious if there's one specific thing that has made this business work for you to help others, or
Okay.
if it's sort of a multitude of things. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's a
Kind of a
really
big
good
question,
question.
but
No, it's okay. I understand now. Thanks for clarifying. So, I feel like it's a multitude of
yeah.
things. Like just one of the first things, like night and day difference going from, low ticket to high ticket. Like we have legitimate training. Like I kind of was just like told and like throwing spaghetti at the wall for a while with low ticket. I mean, the whole time is in low ticket. Like there was no actual like trainings on like how to create content, how to talk to people. It was like, go and like hit up everybody to try to like make a sale. And it's like, ick. Like, I don't even like admitting that, like, that's what I did back then. But that was like quite literally what was taught. I mean, that was 4-ish years ago. Yeah, that was 4 years ago. So, like, obviously things have changed in the industry too. But
Yes.
like, there was no trainings. Like, we didn't have like a structure of like, hey, you're new, plug into these trainings. Hey, you need help with this, plug into this. Yeah, I was working on my mindset. And I will say that that opportunity, like, I don't regret it at all. That
Yeah.
opportunity was like a stepping stone for me,
Yes.
coming into this. But I will say, like, the training here is and mentorship is like so many levels up from what else I have experienced. I mean, even in working as a nurse, like I never had like, yes, of course we get training and you support and you have a preceptor before you're allowed to go and like do things on your own, but it was never like this supportive. And like I was
Mm,
never, encouraged with like mindset and like growth and like actually working on me. So that's like a really big thing. Obviously, like I said, in low ticket they encourage that, but like I just feel like it's even more so here.
yeah.
And just the community, like the community is something that like just really surprised me as well, because just everybody's willing to help each other, right? Where
Yeah.
in like low ticket it felt like it was competition, it was icky, like people weren't reaching out and like helping each other. It's like teams and stuff like that. And like you and I aren't financially connected, and like we've helped each other in the past. And just there's so many examples, like there's so many things, like, yeah. But definitely the training and the support and the community, I would say, are like the top three things that really were the differentiator, if you will. I was trying to come up
Yeah.
with the word.
Yeah. So also with all of that, do you feel super supported? I know going forward, again, a new chapter with your daughter coming. Do you feel like you are able to just take that new season and keep running with your business? And do you want to keep doing it sort of in the pockets of your time? Because I feel like that's also something different here is that we do actually have that time freedom, which doesn't mean
Mm,
that, we do anything whenever we want, but we can plug things in and weave it into our life in different seasons. Right. So
mm-hmm.
I know that you had some goals that you were talking about before. So I'm curious, if you already have some sort of set plans for your next step or, this next season going into, being a mom of two, or just kind of how, yeah, you want to bring your business with you that is different than, again, low ticket or someone else owning their own business. Because again, with direct sales, we do have the support and the community, right? To be able
Yeah.
to yeah, just take our business with us in different seasons of our life.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a good question. So I am kind of preparing, if you will, right now for so I can have that time where like, I'm not going to have to show up for my business, right?
Yeah.
And that's something that's like really incredible about what we have is like I'm not going to lose any of my progress. Like things are going to be fine. Working on setting up systems in place, some more leaning more into the automations like going
Yes.
into this season. And yeah, really just leveraging that. And I mean, with now, I mean, even almost 3 years ago when I started, we didn't have the automations that we have now. So just like, all these like mini chats and all these different things that you can set up and running ads and just having resources already like ready to send to people. So that way, like if you want to continue your business, like when you step away, that's what I'm working on right now. A lot of behind the scenes stuff. Um, and also preparing too to like, I haven't decided yet when, but like having a cutoff date of like, I'm only going to be taking new team members, until a certain date. And then after that, like pretty much the rest of the year, I'm gonna, take off and then I'll come back and like really be back in business and like be more hands-on in January. So that's my plan so far. But yeah, absolutely. Like this business can 100% be done in the pockets of your day. Like whether you're a stay-at-home mom, you're a working mom, you're a little bit of both, like it doesn't matter. Like it can be done in the pockets of your day. It's really just about like your priorities and getting intentional and figuring out what works for you, and asking for help, like letting your spouse know or like somebody know, like, hey, I've got to sit down and do this for 30 minutes or whatever. Can I have 30 minutes? Just you figure it out. Like if people want it bad enough, like straight up,
Yes.
I know some people don't like when that is said to them, like, but like if you want it bad enough, like you will make it happen.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I have two last questions. So one is
Yeah.
about sales. So obviously you had some experience with sales with the low ticket.
Yeah.
How did you feel about sales from there and then going into the high ticket? I know you said obviously the support again and having the structures and the community, but do you get a lot of objections where people are like, oh, I don't want to do sales? Or is it because of again, this is a vehicle for freedom where we do have this
Yeah.
time freedom and location. So we do teach and learn in a way that we can actually show up of service with authenticity. Yeah, I'm just curious a little bit around sales and whether you've changed kind of your mindset around that or people that you speak to, if that is an objection that you hear often is, oh, sales, you know?
Yeah. So I used to get it, but not really so much anymore. And I will say that, like, yes, I mean, sure, you could say maybe I kind of had experience from low ticket, but not really. Like I said, we were not taught, wasn't taught how to talk to people. Like, it was just very, like, icky feeling. So when I came from that, like, that way of doing things and running business and, like, trying to bring on clients and team members was, like, just didn't feel good for me.
Yes.
But then coming here, it's like more of a like we're leading with service, like sales really is service. I know that I have an opportunity and I have a product that can serve many people. It can serve people well. I mean, the product can serve everybody. I'm not
Yes.
saying the business is for everybody, but I know I have something that people want and need and use every single day, can't live without. And it's disrespectful for me not to share it with people
I love that.
because I know and I've seen what it can do for other people. I've seen what it's done for me and my family. So that's where my mindset is. And so yeah, it really was like a mindset shift and then also just the way of being taught, and like it was lack thereof previously where I wasn't really taught. And then just having so many resources and like the mentorship and like having sponsors that were getting on calls with me with my, with potential clients, right? And so just having that support of like
Yeah.
learning, right? And earning while you yeah, learning while you earn or earn while you learn, that saying
Yes.
type of thing. And it's not like being thrown to the wolves. I feel like that was a really big thing too. But just, that goes back again to what I was saying before about like the resources that we had here, the
Yes.
trainings, like, and at the end of the day, anybody can learn sales, right? It's a skill.
Yes.
And that's what I learned. I'm like, I learned how to be a nurse. I took care of some of these sickest patients
Wow.
in the country, like being an ICU nurse in a level 1 hospital. It's like, if I can do that, like I can do anything. Like I almost say that to the moms too. Like if you can be a
I
mom, then
agree.
you can learn anything. If you can learn how to keep a kid alive, like they don't come home from the hospital with a manual. So like
Yeah.
if you can learn how to like be a parent, then you can learn sales because it's literally just a skill. Nobody comes out of the womb knowing how to do sales. So that's what I tell people. I'm like, it's literally a learned skill, just like anything you do at your job right now.
Yeah, I definitely agree. Okay, last question. So, do you find you also get people that want to wait? They're like, okay, I want to do this, but I'm going to wait. And if so, because I know you said you jumped in, I also jumped in. I had
Yeah.
seen the water before when I was in nutrition school at a center I was working at. And I just loved it because I had actually hypothyroid at the time. So I did notice when I was drinking the water, I'd have some more energy, but I didn't really think about it for a while. And I also had three people reach out to me. And the second person, something about our connection and the webinar, I was like, yes, like, and the community also drew me in. But yeah, how do you work with people that say, okay, I want to wait? Because some people, it actually is not the timing and you can kind of feel it out
Yeah.
specific questions. And other people, they're just scared, and
Hmm.
it's so, yeah, I'm curious what advice or just, yeah, words of wisdom that you have from your experience being in this business. How many years have you been in this business now? 3 or 4?
It's been almost 3. I mean, I started taking it seriously like the beginning of 2024. So we could say like two-ish, 2.5 or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So in those 2.5 years, having your team and growing, have most of them come on right away? Or yeah, just curious what words of wisdom if people are saying, okay, I want to wait. What advice do you
Yeah, I
have to
would say most of my people came on like almost immediately. It was like, figuring out financing, like how is
yeah,
this going to work? It was within like a few months like span, right? It wasn't like, oh, waiting. I do have like one person that did wait like 2 years and she's like, why did I wait? I wish I would have started
yes,
this sooner. Not only the business, but she's like, oh, we could have had this water for the last 2 years,
yeah,
so that's people who are watching, like that's the thing, like you're always going to wish that you started sooner, like once you start, and like and everybody has that fear, right? Like so for me, when someone wants to wait, this it's either because they have fear and they don't
yeah,
believe in themselves, or maybe they quite literally like cannot start, like they cannot get financing, they don't have the credit for it or whatever. And if that's the case, like I do work with people and try to give them like tips and advice. I'm not like a financial credit advisor or anything
yes,
like that, but just with my knowledge that I've gained over the years, trying to help them increase their credit score, or like whatever the situation is going to be. I try to help them come up with a plan so that way, like 5 6 months down the road, or whatever, however long it takes them, they can get started, they can
yes,
purchase their machine. So like working with people that way, or just asking people like, okay, why, like why do you, what's it gonna, is it gonna benefit you to actually wait, and just
yeah,
like trying to talk them through it. Because like I said, at the end of the day, a lot of the times it's just fear, and like it's very normal to have fear when you are doing something new and you are
yeah,
making an investment. I mean, everybody has that fear. I guarantee you, like millionaire and billionaires probably still have
yes,
a little bit of like that, oh, like
yeah,
a little bit of like a weird, butterflies in their stomach, and pit in their stomach, like when they make big moves, like that's just human nature, but like it
yes,
doesn't mean that you shouldn't do it.
yes. Yeah, yeah, they were talking about that in Ignite, one of the platforms I've been using, and talking about actually sometimes when fear comes up, it actually can be a measuring tool that you are actually trying to level up, right? And
Mm-hmm.
your system and your nervous system, especially, is trying to keep you safe, but actually
Yes.
moving into that fear, if it's something that actually can support you, which this obviously can in so many ways for a lot of people. So it's leaning in and doing it anyways, right? Because yeah,
Yeah,
staying stuck actually, can cost you so much more for a lot of people, right? So,
totally.
yeah. Well, thank you so much for
You're
chatting and
welcome.
connecting. And yeah, I wish you so much just joy and love and light in your next chapter. And super good to see you. Thank you again.
Thank you. Yeah, have a great day.
Bye,
Bye.
Ellie. Bye.